How to pass the CISSP exam. All right. So the CISSP exam is one of the best cybersecurity certifications out there, and the most. How to pass the CISSP exam. All right. So the CISSP exam is one of the best cybersecurity certifications out there, and the most in demand, I would say, in the field of cybersecurity, and one of the most respected certifications. It also could be difficult to get, depending on the time you have and your experience and background. So the CISSP is not a technical exam, although it does have some domains that are technical. So you need to know about IP addresses, ports, firewalls, and things of that nature. But more importantly, you need to know what a manager would do, someone who is in cybersecurity management. What would that person do when they respond with when they're responding to a cybersecurity incident? All right, so that's the way you answer questions. You don't think as a techie, as a system admin or developer. You think as a manager would do. So the manager is always going to think, on a high level, and not in the weeds. All right. So always think about that. You're always going to think about risk and impact. The big part of the CISSP involves the CIA triad, which is confidentiality for C, integrity for I, availability for A. So confidentiality is, how do you keep secret secret? How do you make sure that only authorized people have access to the resources they're supposed to have access to? So they might have different questions with different scenarios that deal with confidentiality. And your response would be trying to know what types of security controls would apply for confidentiality scenarios. So firewalls, things like privileges, roles and responsibilities, things of that nature. The I for the CIA triad would be integrity. That deals with making sure only authorized parties are able to modify information, and making sure that unauthorized parties are not able to modify data. Okay, so again, questions about what security controls you would put in place, which would be stuff like hashing, so SHA, and MD5, things of that nature. Another thing would be the A in the CIA triad, which would deal with availability, making sure that the system and resources are up and running. So what types of security controls would you apply? Would be fault tolerance, RAID. It could be even something as simple as an SLA backup. That will be some of the security controls to consider. Another thing you need to know about the CISSP is you have to know the different terminology for systems and resources and cybersecurity lingo. So you have to know all these things, and that will help you answer questions for the CISSP. The biggest way to be successful for the CISSP is to use tons of practice questions. Use tons of practice questions. So I will recommend the official study guide and the official study guide practice questions, the practice test by CyBEX, Mike Chappell. I think that is one of the best books out there to practice. There are a bunch of practice tests online as well. The other thing I would mention is, or recommend, would be the ISC Squared official study guide by Mike Chappell. That is a very good book to use, easy read. And it also has access to practice questions within the book and online. So definitely practice a lot. And then in the book, every chapter has, questions, practice questions, and then it also has something that says exam essentials. So make sure you know the exam essentials. That will help you. At the back of each chapter has something called exam essentials. It's going to narrow down what it is you need to study for that particular chapter or domain. All right. So with the CISSP, you never know what domain will be heavily tested within the exam. So it's advisable to study all the domains, especially the ones that carry more weight that you will see in the book and you will see in the CISSP outline. Which brings me to the next point, which is download the exam outline for the CISSP. So go to isscsquared.org and download the exam outline. They also have something called the Ultimate CISSP Guide or something. You can download that. That has access to some flashcards, the exam outline, and just general things you should know about the CISSP exam. Make sure that you study, give yourself about 2 hours a day or more to study for the CISSP. Make flashcards. So with the exam essentials that I mentioned, make flashcards. They have apps now for flashcards that you could download and create the flashcards yourself. Or if you're old school, you could go to CVS or Dollar Store, pick up those flashcards and make them. So while you walk, you could go over those flashcards, or you could even interact with your family, have them quiz you with the flashcards. I would also say watch YouTube. There are a bunch of good videos on the CISSP, so you could listen to that while you jog, while you do chores in the house. So the more information you obtain, the more you will remember. So definitely work on your CIA triad. Definitely know that for the CISSP. Know that you have to think like a manager for the CISSP. Another good resource I would mention is the CISSP Sunflower. There is a book that you can download online, which is free. It has bullet points of some key things you should know for the CISSP. All right, so I hope this was helpful. Please practice for the CISSP. And before you take the CISSP, make sure that you know why you're taking the CISSP. Don't just go for the CISSP because you heard it pays well and a highly sought after cert. Make sure that you are getting a certification that is within your level as a cybersecurity professional. So I would go for the Security Plus first before going for the CISSP. One, it's a much easier exam to get, and it gives you the foundational knowledge of cybersecurity. All right. So I hope this was helpful follow me for more tips, and please subscribe to the channel. Thanks.
Don't forget to subscribe and like. We're also on IG at CyberFirst Solutions. Thank you.